How they hanging down, dudes? It's me, the VHS Velociraptor, and welcome back to Reaction and Review with the VHS Velociraptor, also known as Reaction and Review with the Media Raptor, also known as the Media Raptor Reviews. Yeah, for those of you who are new, a couple things. One, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Marvel May 4 Infinity Gauntlet. What is VHS Velociraptor? Well, pretty much it's just the Media Raptor Reviews, but when I review a VHS. Because I think the name sounds cool. So, what are we going to review today? Or what are we going to watch today? 2002, it's a superhero movie, obviously. Marvel, obviously. And it comes to us, well, as a sequel to a movie I reviewed a while back. Not too long ago, actually. By a while back, I mean about maybe a dozen episodes ago. Anyhow, the 2002 sequel to Blade 2. Sorry if the light's really weird. It's nearly midnight when I'm filming this, so I'm just using a nearby lamp I got, because, I think it kind of looks cool. And hey, if I'm watching a movie about vampires, let's do it at night. Hopefully it's better than Twilight. So what do I know about this movie? Nothing. I know I own it on VHS. I also own Blade and Blade Trinity on VHS. And I know pretty much just what I've read on the back. And I also know that it's pretty much 2 hours, so I'm going to be here for a bit. But yeah, honestly, I enjoyed the first Blade a lot. I thought it was a good, fun, awesome action film. Great set pieces, great effects, great, props, great acting, pretty much just great all around. So, haven't heard much about Blade 2, but I have heard Blade Trinity is pretty awful. But we'll get to that one when we get to that one. So, let's say we kick back, relax, and ultimately find out, does Blade 2 have the fangs of the original? Or does it suck? That was terrible, I'm sorry. So we're in the middle of a pretty cool early 2000s fight scene. And I'm gonna be honest, Wesley Snipes, he is loving every second of this. You know how people say Hugh Jackman, I'll talk about this more later, they say Hugh Jackman was perfect for Wolverine and that nobody will replace him. That's kind of what I think about Wesley Snipes. He is amazing as Blade. He's got, this rather deadpanned, almost, it might seem like he doesn't care, but at the same time, he's so I'm into it and I'm 100% owning this. In everything he does, including this really cool, actually looking torture scene. That was pretty cool, actually. And I think I just saw someone doing blood cocaine. This movie's creative, I'll give it that. It's off to a great start. So this is gonna sound weird. Just kind of weird. The CG in this movie, and again, I'll talk about this when I get to the actual review, has not aged well. It looks really bad. But it also works. It doesn't look good, but it's not like Sharknado bad, where I'm laughing at how poorly it looks. It still actually seems decent. It seems like they put a lot of effort into it, and 16 years later, I can still look at it and think, that looks good, actually. And the movie's really entertaining. So this movie's off, not only is it off to a great start, but man, the cast is awesome. We got Wesley Snipes, Ron Perlman, who's always awesome, and Norman Reedus. Not only that, Ron Perlman's playing a character named Reinhardt. So all I'm doing right now is making Overwatch jokes. Okay, that was pretty cool. But what I'm mainly here to talk about is the fact that I did mention there's a character named Reinhardt. There's also another character as part of this vampire team, who does use a giant hammer, who isn't named Reinhardt. I feel like an opportunity was missed. So something else I gotta give this movie props on is its atmosphere. It does not rely heavily on the score. In fact, there's very little score at all. But, sorry, as I was saying, the atmosphere in these scenes is genuinely tense and actually kind of creepy. I'm giving it a thumbs up. I haven't felt this kind of tension in quite a while in a movie, let alone a Marvel movie. So something's been bugging me for a bit, and I wasn't exactly sure how to put it into words, and I think I just figured it out. The movie's a lot of fun. It is. Great characters, great action, decent story, great acting. Did I already mention that? I don't know. But for a movie called Blade 2, Blade isn't really doing a lot in it. Yes, he's very much there, and he's very much doing things, but he's just as equally sort of doing his own thing. Like, I don't know, it's weird. He doesn't seem to have a huge role in this movie. That, or they're about to kind of get to a huge part for him, because there's still like half an hour in this movie left. And, you know, these bad guys are still alive, so... Well, that was Blade 2. Apparently it was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Didn't know that. Probably should have looked at the box. But yeah, that was... Actually, that kind of was a Del Toro film. Or should I say, Academy Award-winning director Guillermo del Toro film. Now, hang on, this is gonna hurt. Hang on. Alright, so Blade 2. How does it stack up to the first one? Is it any good? Is it worth watching? Did I even enjoy it? Yes to all those things, aside from... Well, okay, that didn't work. Okay, guys, I want to level with you. It is currently 1:15 in the morning when I'm filming this, so if things I'm saying don't make sense even more than usual, I'm sorry, I'm tired. But anyhow, so Blade 2, how does it compare to the first one? Well, unlike most sequels, it's on par with the first one. Not in every single sense, but it's pretty close to the first one. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's action-packed, but the first one is still better. At the end of the day, the first one is just better. So I know I was kind of showing my hand there by saying, yeah, it's a good movie, but it is. But there are some things far more noticeably questionable about it than the first one. Like I said during the actual movie, Blade doesn't really do a whole lot, especially for a movie called Blade. Yes, he's in it. Yes, he's the main character. But he doesn't get nearly as much attention or development as these new random side characters, who, spoilers for a 16-year-old movie that I watched on VHS, all die. Yeah. All these new bad guys, all these new side characters, this new sort of blood squad or whatever they were called, like these vampires who were trained to hunt Blade he ends up being forced to work with, these new super vampires, they all die, so cool. But they're all given a lot more time to develop than Blade is. In fact, Blade really doesn't even say much throughout the entire movie. It's weird when like all the other characters talk more than Blade does. The main character. You know, the only guy on the cover of the VHS. I just find that a little strange. But one thing which I did enjoy about the first Blade movie was how they kind of expanded and messed around with, you know, vampire lore. Kind of creating something new. This, well, it's a Del Toro movie, so you can expect creativity in truckloads, and it certainly did. Like with the new super vampires, and I will talk about this when we get to effects and stuff, they have this weird sort of mouth. If you guys remember the Jester, was it, and Krampus? Imagine that and the Xenomorphs from Alien kind of combined together. They're these new, cool, ultra vampires that can't die by bullets or silver, they can only be killed by sunlight. That's a cool idea. Kind of almost like an evolutionary step in vampires. I like that the vampires have their own society, that they all fear Blade. Like, all that stuff from the first movie is still here and still quite creative. But while the first one really kind of just grabbed you and dragged you in, and you were very much along for this ride with Blade, this one, you sort of seat yourself, get ready, you get dragged in, and you enjoy it, but it is kind of forgettable. The story is kind of forgettable, not the whole movie. The movie is good, but most of this plot, it doesn't even seem like it was fully completed. Yes, they have a lot of great ideas, but at the end... Sorry. It's like 1:20, I'm sorry. It just kind of seems incomplete, I guess. But that's not to say the movie isn't still entertaining. The action is very well done. The plot they have, I don't really want to... The plot is kind of... They want to get Blade's blood so they can try and make new daywalkers. There's this new type of vampire, these new super vampires who are even more powerful and deadly. It's cool. I just farted. It's cool. It's a unique story, especially compared to other vampire stories. The acting is great. I commented throughout that we have people like Wesley Snipes, Ron Perlman, Norman Reedus, Chris Christopherson, and these people all know how to act perfectly well, and they all do a great job. But one thing about Wesley Snipes as Blade, this is me kind of dipping in a bit to special effects and to, well, the choreography, which I guess would be special effects in a way. He keeps it pretty much straight throughout the entire movie. But whenever he does something, you could pretty much just add him like going, yeah, I'm badass, at the end of pretty much everything he does. Because Wesley Snipes gives 500% to the choreography. Every time he has to twirl a blade, even just put on his sunglasses, he does it with as much power and energy as possible. And it looks awesome. The fight scenes, people are flying all over the place, there's fighting, stabbing, swords, guns. Your typical, 2000 action fare. And it's a lot of fun. But it's also pretty cliched, to be honest. There's a lot of early 2000s slow-mo, a lot of early 2000s nightclub shootouts, early 2000s fist fight, early 2000s sword, final boss fight sort of thing. But again, that doesn't exactly mean the movie's bad. I'm just telling you, it's in here. There are these kind of things. And I did mention this near the beginning, the CG has not aged well. The CG probably looked pretty good for its time. For 2002, it probably looked really good. And I'll give it this. It's very creative. The way they use it with the disintegrations and stuff like that, it looks pretty cool. But it doesn't look realistic. It does not aged well over the course of 16 years. But then again, 16 years. What do you expect? But for some reason, the CG didn't really bother me. Yes, it looked pretty bad. It looked clearly fake. But that wasn't an issue. Honestly, it didn't really take away anything from the movie. Surprisingly, that it didn't really take anything away in the end. But ultimately, the movie... One other thing I can give this movie, a big positive I can give the movie, is the atmosphere. I did talk about this. This kind of also explains the score. There's barely any. And what is here is pretty forgettable. Aside from the opening theme, that opening theme is awesome. And... yeah. Just thinking. But a lot of the scenes where it's supposed to be quiet and tense as they're walking through the sewers and stuff like that, it is genuinely tense and pretty atmospheric. So that's cool. Good job, movie. At the end of the day, can I recommend Blade 2? Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It's serviceable. It's a good way to waste 2 hours. Am I going to watch it a dozen more times? Probably not. Am I going to get it on Blu-ray? Yeah, probably. Got a list of things I need to get on Blu-ray, but yeah, Blade 1 and 2 are on that list. I don't know about Blade Trinity yet. I'm going to watch that tomorrow, but don't expect an R&R on it, because, yeah, these take a while to edit, and I want to keep getting more reviews out because I'm sorry I had work and stuff for 2 weeks. I'm sorry I haven't been making more reviews, but I got sick and then work, and then I started filming Far Cry 5 videos, which then didn't work out, so that whole series has been scrapped. Yeah, things did not go as planned. But yeah, Blade 2 gets 2.5 Raptor claws out of 4. It's fun, serviceable. The original is better. I gave the original, I believe, 3. But if you did like the first one, give the second one a shot. Can't say much about the third yet, but I can tell you this. Until next time, this has been the VHS Velociraptor saying keep cool, and I'm going to bed. Good night, Dino Dudes. Good night.